Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode number 17 of the Hot Drop. Usually this would be the boom, but it already went. You guys already know what it is. Joined here tonight by the one and only Rolex wearing, scythe wheeling dealing, Grim Reaper M. Dizzo. He's over there. And in the right hand side of your guys' screen, the one and only with the green background, Mr. Exclusivo, Mr. Exclusives. Normally, you guys know I like to talk a lot, but Grim is the actual host of the Hot Drop. This is our first time doing it live, so bear with us if we do have any technical difficulties, whether it's voice or whatever the case may be. We're going to try and start doing these live. Also, normally we have like a script, and these are the topics we're going to cover, and we kind of have an idea of what we're going to say and who's picking what and things like that. But this time, we just kind of wanted it to be organic and just straight off the hip. So if I talk shit about your team, it comes from a good place, okay?
I'm going to start by saying Shox. You forgot the Dizzle.
Oh, hey, you know what? When you said that in the video today, by the way, because we had Twitch partner, congratulations, Grim, by the way, for the Twitch partner, brother.
You too, Shox. And exclusive,
and
because you've been joining us.
You're a part of that.
Congrats, guys. Yes, congrats.
When you said that in the video today, I was like, look at Grim actually taking ownership of his persona now. Like, he's the Dizzle now.
Dizzle, and that was pointed out in the Twitch chat that Shox forgot the Dizzle, so they already know.
The Dizzle, baby. All right, yeah. So that was kind of something that I kind of started doing for Grim. I don't know where I do nicknames for everybody. I don't know why. What's wrong with me? But anyways, Grim, take it over. Hot Drop, episode 17, BGE, season 6. It's about to go down on Friday, which I got to do some promo videos. We're going to have new overlays, all that crap set up for that. So it's going to be lit. Best season ever. And you know what we should do, which I'm probably going to do? Top 5 clips of the week from season 6, as voted on by me only. What's up?
There you go. All right, let's jump in real quick. As Shox said, and I will say this one more time, we did it. We hit Twitch partner. Thank you all for the support. We couldn't have done it without you guys. So very, very much. Thank you so much. Also, this is our very first Hot Drop live ever. So there's no retakes, there's no rewinds, there's no, I didn't like the way that went, let me redo that. So what happens, happened. So we'll apologize to not apologize. So There you go. And chat is actually 100% live also. That was a question too. So you get it as we get it. So There's no delay.
We got no dump delay. Button. So if we say fuck, you know?
Beep. There's your
I'm excited to hurt somebody's feelings in real time.
We already got Twitch partner. We can cuss now.
Yes. We got all that good stuff. So we're going to jump right in. Main reason we're doing it, Hot Drop always returns for our big leagues. So here we go. BGE Season 6 starts in 2 days. 32 teams. Going to battle it out. Broken down into 4 groups. We're going to cover each and every group, each and every team. And, Week 1, all 32 teams are going to play each other over the course of the 3 days. So each group will play each group once. With that, at the end of Sunday, the top 2 teams from each group are going to move straight to finals. They're going to get a free pass right into finals. The remaining 24 teams will play the next 2 weeks, 2 nights a week over the course of Friday, Saturday, Sunday. They'll play 2 nights the first weekend, 2 nights the second weekend. Top team from each group will move to finals, and then the next highest 5 teams in the rankings will move on to finals 2 to give us the top 17. Finals will then start 2 weeks, and you're going to hear it here first. 2 weeks, Friday, Saturday. That's it, no Sundays. 6 maps each night, 24 maps total.
Let's add another 24 on top of that, please.
You know what? Can we take a moment to talk about that setup really quickly? I just want to note that, I like the new setup, the new format. First time doing it. And obviously, the first time we've had 32 teams since season, 3 or 4 or something? 3, probably?
3. I think it was 3.
Pretty cool that we have 32 teams. That's an accomplishment of its own. But we had a little mixed results on this one because with the group, like if after the week 1, everybody places each other, so that's fair. But giving those teams kind of like essentially a bye just for being like top seeds, I was against it at one point. Like, we're gonna give the best teams an easier chance to go on. Like, that's some bullshit, right? I wasn't good with it, but I actually, now that we're getting into it, I like that a lot more. Just because, it doesn't have to be the best teams. If you're the top team in your group, which is awesome, the cool thing about the groupings is that, like, if you're top 2, you had that one good week, or weekend rather, you can easily qualify, and it helps some of the other teams that probably need the practice instead of getting, like, beat up by K7 every day. So I think it's cool. And then I think that this week we can showcase certain teams that maybe we think are going to win in advance, and then the next week we could showcase teams that aren't those teams that qualified that always get the spotlight anyways, because obviously we have to spotlight the best teams because they're the best teams and they earned it, but week 2 gives an opportunity to other teams where it's like, maybe this team could make some noise when normally we wouldn't be the first option, you know what I mean? So I think that's cool.
So I see a couple quick questions, so I will answer that. Sundays are not in finals. We dropped it from 3 to 2 days in finals. Yeah. Weeks 2 and 3 will still be 3 days, but you only play 2 of the 3 days.
Yeah.
Groupings will be
spend time with your family.
Yes, it's getting nice weather. People want to be outside, so
who does that? Who does that?
This coming Monday, maybe we'll go live again and Selection Monday because we got to reshuffle the brackets again to bring 3 new groups. So might be a quick half-hour reshuffle, break down the teams, maybe live hot drop on Monday. We do it there and talk about the weekend and all that good stuff. So this is going to be very fluid how we do this, but we'll see what goes.
Yeah, we would never do these live, but since we got Twitch partner, we're doing them live now. All right, let's get into it, Grim.
The 6 maps, 3 E's, 3 M's, by the way. It's going to be an even 50-50 split, both nights.
Nice.
Alrighty. Jumping into it, we are going to start with Group A, Group Alpha. Green. We have
Alpha group.
Affinity, Torch, 20 Squad North, Vigorous.
I'm not seeing the groupings there, at least on your screen.
Yours wasn't. I didn't share it.
He's not sharing that.
There we go. Now I'm looking on the stream, so.
Oh, Twitch has that automatic 10-second delay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So.
There it is.
There it is. Yours Capricorn Esports, remember the name, and Do It Esports. Those are I almost said the top 8 teams in Group A, but the 8 teams in Group A. So we're gonna break down each team. Everybody has submitted rosters, so we know who's who and who's playing with who. That was all due yesterday. We'll jump right in with, wasn't fully set up. My bad.
Stop seeing Alpha here. This group right here is actually looking pretty heavy. AFI Torch 20 Squad while you set up Vigorous. Yours Capricorn Esports. Remember the name and Do It Esports. The Do It Esports seems to be a team that I'm interested to see because all the other teams I know who they are. I kind of know where they come from, what they represent, who they are, and I'm interested to see how it's going to work out. But, yeah, this A group, pretty stacked group in my opinion. I think it's got a lot of slayers on that team, a group that I would want to be a part of.
Yep.
I think this is actually the most stacked grouping out of all the groups, in my opinion.
This looks sweat. Like, there is no weak link on this A group. I am sorry if you got A, but listen, when the reshuffling happens, if you don't make it out of the top 2 here, I mean, there's still a chance.
RTN is a team that's up and coming. Capricorn, we've seen what they can do. They've got a few chicken dinners here and there. They're putting it together. I mean, their roster's pretty decent also.
Let's talk. You want to talk on each group? You want to go ahead and do who we think is going to be our top 2 teams to come out of it? Who's going to be our dark horse out of the group? What are you thinking?
Yeah, I mean, we could do that. We could do that. I was gonna do a quick little talk a little bit about each team if you want to do it that way, or
We
just
can. It's gonna take a long time going through 32 teams.
true. Okay, yeah. Uh, we're winging it here, so yeah, we could go right into who do we think is coming out of this group.
Yeah.
Top two. Let's start with exclusive.
Affinity and Torch, my top two.
Affy, Torch.
Infinity and Torch.
And the reason why I say Torch is not because of their NA roster.
It's because of
If
that
this was an
EU,
all,
baby.
if it was an all NA roster, Torch would not be my pick. But
Yeah.
if I think they have 3 of their EU Torch people on their roster, and if those 3 play and they sub one person in, whether it's Dom or whoever else that they picked up from the NA side, I think that's an easy walk-in for the Torch EU squad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they've got OH, Tick, Precision, Luca, Fizz, Kayomi. Those 3 are your EU guys. And then they added Zinpy, ZNPY.
Yeah.
I think that's how you pronounce that. Who's an OG and is right. Been to a couple lands. So, I mean, paper-wise, that's a good team, especially with those 3 EU guys on there. I mean, we know we know what they can do. CK knows what they can do. And
Yeah, and I keep it real. I mean, they talk a lot of shit about us in the Discord, and we really don't even say anything to them. I don't know what started the whole drama between that, but I mean, other than them, they dropped there in EU, and now they're deciding to play NA and drop in the same spot as us for Miramar. But I mean,
Hey,
they're a
this
good
guy
squad.
over
They're a
here
great squad.
said, "There's no way Bazaar's not gonna fight for that." They got a little shellacking up there, didn't they?
Well, I mean, we're gonna keep going there. I mean, even if we lose the battle every once in a while, I mean, we beat them a couple times as well. It's gonna be a back and forth, and the longer that it goes on, I mean, we'll see. But we're not leaving Minas, so
Here you go, Grim. Who you got?
um, Torch. Yeah, I'm definitely putting Torch in that top 2 category.
Hard
It's
thinking from Grim.
it's hard to go. It's. I don't want
Just
to
say
be the.
AFI.
I'm going to. I'm going to just be. I can't not. I mean, they've been the most consistent team
Facts.
in the BGE right now, so it's hard to go against them. But at the same time, I don't want to. I don't want to
Discredit
pick
anybody
this
else.
discredit or just be a broken record and pick the same team. But
Yeah, imagine not picking 20 Squad North. You know? All right, but anyways, my picks are going to be the same thing. God damn it, it is what it is. We're a broken record here. AFI, Torch, and then afterwards we're going to pick our dark horses for the group. And then if your team was left out, I'll give a little cover up on a little recap on those teams just so they can get that love because I know them all for the most part. Grim might have to do it esports, but you got me. I'm going with the same thing. AFI because AFI right now to me hottest team in the BGE. They didn't play last miniseries, so obviously you can't lose if you didn't play it. But they were the reigning miniseries champs going into it, and I do all the payments. And let me tell you guys something: there's a lot of Nicholas 80 proof payments going out. Okay, so AFI is stomping people right now. Okay, solid.
they are.
And Torch, I mean, the Torch EU team's arguably the best team in the game. We just don't know them because we don't play them every night. But if you play the 6 Easterns, when we do 6 Easterns and it's NA, EU, and SA, it'd be like first and second place is an EU team, third, fourth, and fifth is an SA team, and then there's NA teams. Like we got our asses whooped. So you guys might not know, but we've been calculating that, and it's not close. So possibly those regions are better than us. So yeah.
Not to boost your ego there a little bit, Shox, but the other day I messaged OH like, "Hey, are you guys playing tonight?" Because he'd signed up, and I was just trying to verify rosters or spots and all that. And he sent me a message, and it had said, it was from Ghost responding to
It's a dog.
OH saying, "Is Shox hosting it? If so, I'm playing."
Hey,
Because he
Ghost might be the
knows
best
you're
player in the
very
game.
high on him.
He might be the
So
best player in the game. I'm for real. And on all due respect to everybody on the NA side, the Quavos or whatever of the world, that Ghost guy might be the best player in the game. Like for reals. And I don't cast EU all the time, but every time I watch, dude's like squad wiping people, and I'm like, who the hell is that guy? Because I like him, you know. So I don't know.
yeah, that I chuckle at that when he sent me that, and I said, "Sorry, Shox is not casting because Shox is away. This was over the weekend when you were at the wedding." So he's like, "Oh," I'm like, "So no torch?" He goes, "Oh no, we're still play."
There you
But
go.
he just was pointing out that he's likes when you cast, and he'll play when you cast. So
There you go.
uh,
All right. What about
alrighty.
our Group A dark horses? Who you got? We'll start with Grim. Oh, Grim, you do it. Shit.
Okay, my dark horse. I'm gonna go a little. I'm gonna be a little homeboy here. I'm gonna put 20 squad as my dark horse in this group.
Now, when we say dark horse, we're talking about, we kind of picked AFI and Torch to qualify. But who
Yep.
could possibly be that team to qualify first top two? You know what I mean? And his dark horse, you said 20 squad North. Talk
Yep.
to me about 20 squad North team.
I mean, they have their ups and downs. It's a little rough. They're still learning a little bit of the comp way here. It's basically a ranked squad coming into comp, which we want to see more of those teams doing that, and we have seen more of those teams starting to do that, showing up in
The Turbots of the world.
the Turbots and that of the world come into comp. So we like it. But with 20 squad, they're starting to get a little bit more consistent. They've taken a couple third places in the last few days.
They
Within the
just
last,
got to get consistent. That's the only thing. Because they can get dubs off camera.
yeah, exactly. Off camera when we don't cast,
When
they
we don't
do
cast,
great.
they win. When we cast them, they're losing 1v3s.
But I mean, they're consistent top 8 team whenever they do play. I mean, I think they've had a couple bad games recently where they've been like around 10th, 11th.
Mhm.
But for the most part, the last few weeks here, it's consistent top 8 or better. So I think they could be one of those teams that can squeak in there.
Boom.
Exclusive?
All right, so I'm gonna hurt some feelings. We're gonna get this right out of the way, because I see a lot of people saying Vig in the chat, and there's no shot that Vig is getting top 2. No shot at
Ooh.
all. Not getting it.
Going right in it.
The dark horse in this group is 20 Squad North.
Oh my God.
Look. Vig used to be a good team. All right, they were somebody that could show up every night and have a chance to win the tournament. They were somebody that you could guarantee would be maybe top 4 in their bracket or seeding, and that's not that team right now. All of them went away, I think, or a bunch of them went away and played other games. And if they didn't go away and they continued to play PUBG, they did it with people that weren't Vig. So their chemistry is not good. They're not showing up in tournaments currently. The ones that they do play, they're not doing good in them at all.
DHV
So
lineup.
if you think that Vig is going to come out the gates firing both barrels, it's going to be for pop guns. That's all it's going to be.
To answer
With
your
all
question,
due respect, really quick to BG Chicago LAN MVP Noxie and my rival Ghosted, who always kills me every time I play against her. Like, with all due respect to those guys, yeah.
I would say to the answer chat question in the chat here, Vig roster is Noxie, Stiffy, Gravy, Prodigy, Ghosted, Chimp, and Nolan.
Solid.
And I like all those people. I do. I mean, I
It's
played
an
with
OG
them.
Vig roster.
I like them. I like them. They're great people. But as of right now, they are not playing good. And if it was like a 1 week type of thing, they would probably be my dark horse if they played bad only 1 week. But like I said, I mean, they're not even playing tournaments on a daily basis. And the ones that they do, they're not even top. I think that a majority of the time they're not even top 8 in those tournaments.
Sheesh.
So
He's keeping it real.
So anyways, TSN, I think they're the dark horse here. I could see them with some strong games, potentially some good zones going their way, I could definitely see them, sneaking in there and into one of those top 2 spots. They have the talent, they have the gun skill for sure. 100% they have the gun skill. If you go up against them face to face, no cover, I mean, they're pretty deadly. Karm, especially with that mutant, that thing is scary
Don't
when
hype
you
him
hear
up
it.
with that.
It's scary. Like the way how fast he shoots that thing, or I mean, the gun shoots fast anyways, but it's still it's fun to listen to when you're a little bit away from them.
One of the top guns in
But
the game.
yeah, they're good, but they need to clean up the other aspects of their game. So not shooting,
Rotations kill them.
Thirst people
rotations.
that you drop.
Well, rotations, but even knowing when, you don't need to be so aggressive because I've seen them get real. I mean that's how ranked teams kind of are, right? Oh, gunshots, let's go, let's run.
Right.
Yep.
And I'm not
We're
saying
gonna
they do
all
this
drop
every
10
time.
kills. They're not.
Yeah, but if they can focus on, and this happens with CK with Bazaar a lot too. If you can focus on zones, rotations, and setting yourself up to get into the later phases of the game, phase 5, phase 6, phase 7, phase 8, you're gonna be good. The kills will come if you have good positioning towards the end of the game. You don't need to chase it all the time.
There you guys go.
Shox.
So you heard that Carmelian needs to step up. That's one of the better nicknames, the Carmelian. Shout out to Carm. Retired the Carm alarm. But I'm gonna show you guys the groups really quick. Affinity Torch, 20 Squad, Vigorous, Urza, Capricorn Esports. Remember the name. And these are and Do It Esports. And these are kind of like how they were grouped in terms of power ranking them, kind of based on our power ranking list that we had going on. But goddamn it, Vig. I'm sorry. You deserve to be a dark horse. I was expecting one of these two guys to pick you. How disrespectful did they not, right? But I'm going to go way out on a goddamn island, all right? And I'm going to say this. RTN. I think remember the name. If there's going to be a dark horse that could come out of that group in a top 2 on just like we had an absolutely slay at night, RTN, they're so shoddy that like they could be streaky in that moment and be the team that surprises everybody, and then everybody be like, who the hell are those guys? Like I think that could be the team. I like their roster. They play together all the time. A lot of these other teams aren't playing every night. They're getting the practice, and that's the reason why I'm not picking Vic, because we don't see Vic in there every day. We don't see them in there every night like that. We got a lot of rusty players on that roster, so I think out of nowhere, obviously I think Torch and AFI are going to win that group and get the bye. But if there was somebody that's going to possibly dethrone them, RTN, I kind of feel like Capricorn, they are who we think they are, and a lot of these other teams. But watch out for RTN. They're dangerous. They're deadly. They're deadly. They're dangerous. They've always been a threat. They can win 4v4s. They just die on rotation. So stop dying on rotation.
My boy Shox is trolling you guys, by the way.
The chat is just eating you up right now.
Am I getting slayed? Watch.
Yeah.
You guys watch. Watch it.
They're all coming in
Revolution
saying
said you're
Shox is just being
perspiring
nice at this
tequila
point.
shots.
Is that what
Shox is just being nice.
I'm being honest. You know who else I was gonna pick if it wasn't gonna be them? That Rosa team or whatever. With my Mexicanos, like you guys don't know who they are, but Zycor leading like
Nothing
a
bad
full
about
Spanish
Whiskey
Mexican team. You guys don't know them, but those are old players from Fame and stuff like that, and they got a solid ass roster too. That I know who they are individually, so that team's gonna be solid, and nobody's even heard of them. So definitely a threat.
Mucho liked the comment because I mean he's RTN, so he likes that you picked them, so
go,
he's good for it.
Don't prove them wrong, please. Thank you.
Prove them wrong. All
right, quickly, since we named our top ones, I just want to go over Vig. We just covered them. The Yuruza is a team led by Zycor. It's a Spanish team, really. He's Puerto Rican, and there's going to be like a lot of OG Fame players, things like that. Capricorn Esports, led by Mr. Monty. A roster that's been doing really well, especially compared to, say, we always compare them to Gemini as their like brother-sister clan. They've been outslaying them. So Capricorn Esports definitely solid, and a team that's going to try and get some placement points. Do It Esports, I'm not too familiar with. Grim, who do we got on that?
Do It Esports is mostly the old M1BC roster, I believe.
Oh, okay.
Couldn't find them. I saw the roster in here. Had it, and then I scrolled to look at a different
So
roster.
we got it though. Old M1BC type roster without Mr. Monty. It's pretty
We
much
have-
Monty's boys that he got in there. Shout out Monty. And
We
that
have-
is your Do It Esports.
Zob, Eddie, Taco, Sports, Ranger, Fodder, and Kamado.
There you guys go. And that's not Ranger Jr., by the way.
No.
So
I saw that. I'm like,
it's a
ooh, they
different
got
Ranger.
Ranger? They took Ranger?
All right, Grim. Let's go to Group B.
Group B. We have Virtual Kings, Zodiac Gaming, Crazy Mob, Blood Money, Bloodhounds, Unknown Reapers, The Knee Guys, and Keep Moving Forward.
All right.
Shox, let's start with you on this one. Who is your top 2 coming out of this group?
Oh my God. This is a tough one. But it's not that tough. Right? You know, I don't want to do it, but I'm going to go straight South America on you boys. It's going to go Virtual Kings, who could possibly be the best team in the game. God dang it, they got Lincoln Dogs. They picked up Quavo. Like, who? What? Quavo? Like, how the hell did they pull that off? First of all, you took probably one of arguably the best players in the game off of one of the best rosters, K7, and you somehow swindled him away to an all-South American team? What? You know, like who's talking to Quay in that party, you know?
Had to be
so-
a Linka Docs. Had to be a Linka Docs move.
Had to be Linka, and like I can only imagine their comms when like if Linka walks away to get a drink, Quay doesn't know what the hell they're saying. So I can only imagine, but I say it's gotta be Virtual Kings are gonna be in first place in that group, in my opinion, and then Zodiac, which is a team that's on the rise. I think they're gonna also come out of that group. So VK, ZG. I mean, that's a no-brainer, but honorable mention to, the Mob Yard.
Definitely. Exclusive, who do you have?
Easy, same thing. VK, ZG. No question about it.
I'm going VK, and I think I'm gonna throw the Mob you heard in there. They've been making some strides lately. They've got a few chicken dinners in the last few week or so, so I feel like they're starting to click. They're starting to get some momentum going. I know the South American teams are their Achilles heel, so that may not bode well for them in this group. But I did watch them, I think, take out ZG or VK the other day, so they can do it. They do have a little bit of cleanup to do when it comes to some of their play. They do tend to get a little aggressive, kind of like you said, with a ranked squad almost. They'll start pushing a little too much, or they'll spread out a little too much. So if they can clean up a couple of those little things, I think you could see the Mob in the top 2 for sure.
With a K.
With the K.
With a K.
Exclusive, your dark horse.
He didn't do his
My
top
dark
two, did
horse. Yeah, I did. I did the same as you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you two
VK.
agreed,
Ditto.
and I went with the Mob as my.
That's a
ultimate
smart
choice.
man over there.
My dark horse of this group. There is no dark horse in this group. Are you fucking kidding me? There is
Wow.
nobody that's gonna beat those two teams in this group. Get the fuck out of here. Come on.
Sheesh.
Ooh. Okay.
So he says nobody. I'm gonna look at it. We've seen it. I want to say Crazy Mob, but I have so much respect for those guys that I don't even consider them to be a dark horse because them the boys, I think they're just a threat, period. So I'm not going to say Crazy Mob. I'm going to go with somebody that maybe people won't think that could have a chance on it. And I'm going to go with that Bloodhound Gang team because Fendi's been playing really good and he's been leading those guys. And let's not get it twisted. I do think, VKZG right now are undoubtedly the top 2 teams in that group. But if I had to name somebody that could possibly step up. Fendi's been playing these boys really, really well. I like the Bloodhound Gang team. I think they're very explosive. They definitely have firepower. It's just, can they say... Their problem is they get in gunfights and they lose people, and then they end up getting in gunfights later where they're getting 2v4'd. So if they could be patient and try and play more for placement rather than, we're going to make a name for ourselves and kill people. Like, no, play for endgame. If they could do that, that team could be good, because I feel like they're good in 4v4 straight up. So I like them.
Okay. Don't know much about the team. They've only played once or twice this past weekend, but the little bit I did see, they did place decently every game. So I'm gonna throw blood money in there
Oof,
as a possible dark horse.
that's a no for me.
I mean, they pulled a couple second, third places this
You guys
past
thought I was
weekend
crazy.
playing in the tournaments. And same on Monday, we watched them snake into a second place on one or two tournaments. So they have the potential. Being a team that just came in, we don't know much about
They have
them.
a lot of players that have played in our events before.
They do. Got their roster here. The roster is Chomedy, Vexo,
I
Ezilik,
love Vex.
Lunar,
I like Vexo too. Vexo's a great player.
Mm-hmm.
Hitta, Too Many, and Flick.
If Vexa can stay on a goddamn roster more than a week, sheesh.
So I could see them doing it and playing just this weekend, as came in as an unranked team on our internal unofficial BGE standings rank that we have. After this weekend, they came from an unranked team to a 13th place ranked team based on the standings.
I can name 13 teams better than them.
So I'm gonna go with blood money as a possible
I'm just a hater.
Coming.
But...
You're a hater. You're a hater. We know
that. That's true. That's true.
We all did that, right? We all got the...
Yep. Taking a quick glance at it, some of the other guys keep moving forward. That's KMF boys.
They're in the chat.
Yeah, I know. I like the KMF guys. They're one of the guys that I kind of had talking with on Facebook, a team that's learning how to play in the BG, but they've been playing a lot. So I feel like sometimes you see new teams come in, they get discouraged right away and like quit. I really think this season is going to help them grow. And if they can qualify and ride the wave, I mean, that could be a team that might hit their stride going into finals. And if they don't, a team that's definitely going to be ready if Season 7 rolls around or something like that. So that's a team that's going to be on the rise. And they play better than a lot of the teams already. So that's something to watch out for. The knee guys, who I thought were the new guys for forever, we'll let Grim touch on them. I'm going to switch over to the Unknown Reapers because I got my boy Wire John. Unknown Reapers, I've won a tournament with them. It was me, John, Rim Reaper, and Nemesis, a CK guy. We won under Console Killer's name, though, because they paid for it, you know what I mean? But Unknown Reapers, that's the boys, man. And I think John IGLing them. Is John the best shooter in the game? No, he'd say he isn't either, but he's a good IGL, so if he can continue to put them in good positions, who knows, maybe they can qualify the Unknown Reapers. I'd like to see them at the end. My boy, what do we got on the knee guys, Grim? I know team you interact with more, so.
We have Dora the Explorer, Space Labber, we have a TNG Panda, not to be confused with SI Panda. We have TNG Laser, Pro 79, Punish Ya, and Wick NBH. They've played some of our events here. They are an up and coming team. They're mostly I believe they're a ranked team that has started to get into it and joined our ranks here in on Comp World. So once again, another ranked team that is making the switch, coming over. Love to see it, and keep moving forward. And a team that's like that also, a
Yeah,
ranked
once
team
these teams
that.
get used to playing FPP, you never
Mhm.
know. You know what I mean?
Right,
Switch
and that
turn.
is, I think it was them. It could have been keep moving forward. One of the two had said that the one of their guys hates FPP, but he's
It was
struggling a little bit.
KMF, I
But
think.
they're getting the feel for it. So once they get a little bit more comfortable with it, I think these teams could start making names for themselves, and we welcome
I
it.
think
We love to see it.
I think they gotta adjust some of their drop spots too, because if I recall from casting with you guys, they were dropping into some of the best teams on their drop spots. So it's
Uh,
probably not a, good idea to do.
KMF was dropping when they first came. I think it was KMF
Make
was
make
They were
comp
going like
TPP
military,
again.
right?
they were going into Milta, and they were fighting
Oh,
ZG
yeah,
off the rip,
not a good
and
idea.
they were knocking them, but they always ended up losing.
Yeah, they'd take three
Unfortunately,
down, lose, and then they'd revive all of them. They don't get any
right? They
points.
wouldn't go for the
So
flushes.
bad.
So,
So they're like
but
that
yeah,
close.
the new guys, they put their drop spots down as Novo North George,
North
and
George, they're going to contend with PT if they play. PT goes North George. It's probably not a team I'd want to run into, especially building to building in North
If you
George.
ask K-Dub, that's definitely a team you want to run into.
and then from Milta they've got Los and El Pozo. So
Boom.
El Pozo they're gonna be with Dub Hub, and
Yeah, but those
Los
two
is
spots are big enough to somewhat share.
it is
True.
Los. You've got Crazy Mob, and I think there's another team possibly that put Los down. I mean, with 32 teams, you are bound to overlap with
Of
people.
course.
I mean, there is no way that you can not. So
All right, Grim, let's get into Charlie, baby. Come on now.
Charlie,
Charlie Murphy.
Charlie, we have. Where'd Charlie go?
Kinetic 7, Console Killers, Team Toxic, 187s, not 187Z, 4-Star General, Shooter's Instinct, Toxic Lady Lasers, and Team Legacy. And, I mean, there could be possible teaming in this one. We don't know. We're going to try and keep an eye on that. But this was the one group that had, originally was going to have the extra team, but it all ended up evening itself out. So there is your Charlie group.
Exclusive, you want to start us off? Your top two?
K7, 100%. And then the other spot is a toss-up between my dark horse team and then the team that I think is going to get it. Of course, Uncle Kathy was giving me shit over here saying he's going to say CK, so I am going to say CK. Definitely think that we have, and I'm not saying that because it's my team. Like, I legit think that we, in this group, easily fall first week.
Easily.
I'll wait for my dark horse.
Eesh.
Ooh.
I'll go, Grim. I'll go.
I would
I'll
say
go.
Shox.
I'm gonna tell you what, my top two. I've always been the guy that's like Console Killers top 5 team in the game. I'm always that guy, and I would push Torch out of that back in the day. Like I would always everybody, you're crazy, you know, and I'd always be like, Torch not top 5 for me. That's how it used to be. But you know what? K7 reigning defending champions. Of course, I'm gonna say they're gonna qualify and probably one of, if not the best team in the game still. Without Quay, you take out a Q and add another Q, so it's not a big deal. I think they're going to be just fine if they can get Desta to play every night and things like that. Obviously, they have availability issues on K7, but I think they're still the best or one of the best. But the other team that's going to qualify is going to be Team Toxic. They're going to be the first top 2 teams. And why do I say Team Toxic? Because they have Tech on the team. You got Space Havoc, Boatman, who's arguably a top 5 player, Tech, who's arguably the GOAT of the game. Insert fourth at that point, you know what I mean? I think that Toxic team's going to go off, and when those guys are on the dub hub, we kind of mashed each other because they could be crybabies, no offense to them, and I can be a dick too, so it goes both ways, but I've never disrespected or denied their skill, so I think they're going to be beasts. The only reason why I don't see them maybe making top 2 is if they're going to be fighting for Snake all day with the dub hub. That's the only way. If they can have some type of diplomacy there, Toxic. Oh, and a threat to win it all.
Well, their only saving grace is they didn't end up in the same group as Dub Hub, so they only have to fight them one night for Snake, essentially.
And they got
Definitely.
what 3-1 or 4-1 or 2. They got their asses whooped last time they dropped Snake. So let's throw that out
They
there.
lost all of them.
But
They
no
lost
boat,
all
no
of them.
tack. So let's throw that
Right.
out there too.
They lost every fight in Snake against Dub Hub the night they played. I think they killed one member of Dub Hub.
Smoked
and
them.
Dub Hub took out them the other 3 games totally. I'm definitely gonna say K7 coming out of this group. I'll go with CK if CK can keep it together.
Well, I don't know if you noticed this, Grim, but somebody new is on the CK roster.
Oh,
I wasn't there before.
I did not.
Who we got? Who's the new guy on the roster? Talk to me. It's exclusives.
We got the guy that keeps things under control here, all right? We got the guy that keeps people focused and paying attention and staying alive, all right? That's what we're doing. That's what we're doing.
CK
Ranger
can outshoot anybody. The problem
roster.
is that the leash is way too long, you know. And normally I'm a fan of letting people roam, but you know that's the one team where it's like you got half the team fighting in Vikendi, the other team's fighting in Sandhawk, and we're playing on Miramar, you know. So
Rangers off the roster and exclusive on the roster.
Like it. I like it. MVP.
So we got Coma, Bazaar, Yager, Bish, exclusive, Elbow, and Pixel.
See, I love Bazaar as the spearhead. He's always the guy that like gets the opening knock, but at the same time, it's like, well, Bazaar's down first again, you know. So like, when it's time to make a push and you can make that happen, like he's awesome for getting the opening knock. It's just when they're like already in a spot and they're chilling, and he's just roaming around. I'm gonna clear this east side ridge and dies. That's the killer. When it's like you didn't even need to be over there. Like you have compound.
Yep.
Like just chill.
No, I can't tell you. And again, I'm trying to look at this from an unbiased standpoint because I'm really hard on my team. Like I'm legitimately really hard on them. I pull 2Ds and I say, "Fuck you doing right here?" Okay, this doesn't make any sense. And if we can just clean up some of the things that we do badly, which we shouldn't do badly because we've had people play comp for years. But if we can avoid those those deaths by Bazaar, and then we can play as a team rather than going off, like you said, and playing in 2 different maps at the same time, which is something that we tend to do because you're gunfire and they start running. If we can clean that up, I think we're one of the top teams.
Chat saying you're going to handcuff your own team.
Who said that?
Somebody in the chat said you're going to handcuff your own team.
Stiffy.
Hey,
Stiffy said that.
That's fine. Hey, you know, everybody's got their own opinions, so I'm happy to prove them wrong.
There you go. All right, let's pop it open. Let's go ahead and go with some of these dark horses here in the group Charlie. A team that could possibly dethrone here and be a top 2 team to qualify during week 1.
My dark horse is Toxic.
Yeah,
that's an easy dark. That's an easy dark horse.
You guys are gonna go that way.
Easy dark horse.
Yeah, mine's gonna be Toxic only because I didn't pick him as a top 2.
Yeah.
Though I will give a little extra to Shooter's Instinct there potentially.
They got Little Kid in the Hat now, don't they?
They do have Little Kid in the Hat, so they potentially, if they could get it together, it's a little rough starting here, but they're still trying to feel each other out. So if they can lock it in and actually work it, I think they potentially could be a dark horse.
That roster's got B-More, Lob, Little Kid in the Hat, Toozy. Like, that's a good, somewhat young roster. Like, that's solid AF, you know? It's really... And a team that I was going to pick as my dark horse, but...
Lob, Kid, B-More, RTK, Dilla, Eliminator, and... who the 7th? I think that was who the 7th was.
Can I ask, is Maddie on WC now, or is he 4-star general?
Maddie is FSG.
Okay. Let's get that out there because that's who my dark horse is going to be. 4-star Generals, only because they've been playing like shit. Like let me clarify that they've been playing like dog water the last week or two. But there was a moment there for like a little 2-3 week stretch where they were like borderline top 5 team in the game where they were doing their thing, and it was like, man, this could be a team on the rise here. Like, am I seeing something? When Maddie first joined that lineup, they were kicking ass and they were looking really good. If they can rekindle that flame somehow and find lightning in the bottle, 4-star Generals, I think could be a dark horse. I'm not saying Consequences because I wouldn't consider them a dark horse. I think they're a team that interchangeable with Toxic. Like either one of those teams could qualify. So I like Constant Killers that much that I wouldn't even say they're a dark horse because they can win. They can win the whole thing. You know what I mean? So that's the only reason why I don't say CK is because, hey, put some respect on CK's name. You know what I mean?
So
I think I was just gonna say for a couple of comments for Shooter's Instinct. I think that they have some good players on their team and some up and coming players. I think Dilla is an up and coming player, like a really talented up and coming player. That people don't realize how good he actually is. So I think he's somebody that you can keep your eye on. I like Eliminator too. I think he's kind of a glue guy and is able to fit any role that you put him in there. And then of course having Kid in there, somebody with that experience and that high level play is great. But I mean, if you're gonna have Lob IGL this team, that's gonna be a big detractor in my opinion.
Yeah, I think that team's really good. And Eliminator and Dilla are pretty chill the times that I've talked to them. But, like, the team, if they don't play well right away with those attitudes that that roster has, like, that team can implode
kind of
quickly.
Yep. They're nice
so
shot.
That could be a team that, like, we're not showing up the last 2 games. You know what I mean? So, especially a lot of young people, too, on that roster where they just, like, don't care. I don't know.
And 4-star Generals, Maddie, of course. Love Maddie. He's great player, one of the best fraggers, shooters out there. And I think Snipeless is a very underrated player too. I think he carries that team with Maddie. Those two, quietly, I think, carry that team. It's gonna require the other 2 people playing with them to really step up their game in order for them to really frag out, because I see those 2 names, Snipeless and Maddie, in the kill feed all the time, and I need to see more from the other 2 members.
Snipeless has a crush on you.
Many people do, Grim. It's okay.
I will say this. I will say 2 things about FSG. One, their roster, they have improved it tremendously. They added Turbot.
Okay.
They have iframes. They added Rykem, who is a good OG. They've got Fantes and Barrel. So on
Barrel?
Paper, it just says Barrel.
AK Barrel, Barrel me Slim.
I'm thinking Barrel. Slim. I'm thinking Slim, but I'm not.
If I had to stay my top 4 on that lineup right now, I'm going Maddie, I'm going Snipe, I'm going Turbot, and who's the other one?
iframes.
No.
Rykem, Fantasies.
Boom.
Rykem.
Top 4 right there.
They've got frames.
That's my starting lineup.
Snipe, Rack, Turbot, and frames are listed as the main 4, and the other 3 are the subs. Oh, Suck My Barrel is that
Suck
Barrel.
My Barrel. Oh, yeah. I like him. I played with him.
Now, I will say this, though. The only issue 4-star Generals has in this group
it's a hard-ass group.
187s. 187s has dropped apartments. They want apartments.
And they've given them an ass whooping in apartments.
They have beaten FSG in apartments. So if they continue to do that,
just
FSG
drop school.
Is going to struggle.
Jesus Christ. Look at FSG's got their ass whipped so much in apartments that I had to ask if Maddie was still on the team. Like, that's how bad they've been getting just absolutely dog-whopped, like, dragged down the streets of the apartment area. Like, and school's wide open. It's like, you can get enough loot in school. Just one drop here, the other one drop here, problem solved. Boom, you're welcome.
Right. So, I mean, 187s will pose a problem there for FSG. And I think that's really, out of all our groups, that's the only real rivalry-wise you have inside of a group or a drop spot, from what I've seen for the most part.
187's, well, I'll cover the teams really quick that we didn't talk about. 187's got a really, really good roster.
Legend, Insane, Savage,
Mhm.
Mistake, Dragon, Carnage, and Scott Sizzle.
And Insane and Savage are absolute dogs. Like they
Mm-hmm.
do some plays sometimes where I'm like, God damn, these kids are good. They lack consistency. So if they could be more consistent, which they have been when they're getting all these free points over FSG every day, yeah, they're going to be a problem and easily could be the dark horse. I was between those two. Shooter's Instinct, we obviously covered them already. Toxic Lady Lasers. This is an all-female team led by Virgo Star, I'm assuming. Um,
Yep.
I like the roster, and I would have loved to seen some other people on that roster. Not gonna lie, I'd love to see a little one crazy, a ghosted, but I think this is a female team that I
Nope.
want to see
So
how they're gonna perform.
you've got Virgo, you've
Uh-huh.
got Crazy, so little one is on the roster.
Okay, she just wasn't playing the other day then.
Nope. You've got Cerny, Kitty, Lex, Melly, and they added Southern.
Ooh, Grimm's favorite mod, Southern. Okay. How about Team Legacy? What do we got with them?
Team Legacy.
Can't talk too much about the girl team because then I'm gonna get canceled for saying like, you're meh. How dare you?
Uh,
Because there's a lot of simps out there. All right, you know what I mean. I have to
uh,
respect everybody's girlfriends or whatever. Stay
Eliminator
out of that
says
stuff.
Ghosted, Acid Burn. To
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Ghosted, Acid Burn, arguably the two best female gamers in the game. Lil One Crazy right there with it. Like those three from like the tournaments I played. Those three kicked my ass. You know, like I 1v1 in them, I'm losing that. You know, so like I'd like to see them on a roster together.
Team Legacy, you've got Zingers, Kenty, Yeezy, Wax, Pickle Itch, and Virgin.
Pickle Itch.
Pickle
Ah,
Itch.
there you go.
Pickle
That's a
Itch.
solid roster led by Zingers. That's a really really good team. Shit, that might have been my dark horse, but too late now. I like that roster. But we'll see how it plays. Picklich, obviously EU guy, but Zinger and the boys, obviously good players. They've been playing in the BG for a while, so yeah, solid. Want to go to D?
Let's go to D,
Dota.
the underrated group.
Oh, they're
I like
rated.
this group. I like this group, Shox.
We have
I'd like to be in
Properly
this group.
Tucked, Trigger Happy Esports, The Dub Hub, Winner's Circle, Rico's Roughneck, Phase 9, Gemini Esports, and Not Even Sweaty.
All right, talk to me. Oh, I'll pop it up one more
Shox.
time for everybody. You want me to go first? First of all,
You go
let me
first.
start by this. We power ranked our top 4 teams. How the hell is Property Tuck number 4? First of all, the console killers of the world should be highly disrespected, and that's what I'll do respect to Property Tuck because I got love for them. I just don't think they're number 4 because you took a long break, you came back, you played solid, but I don't think you're proven that you're top 4 at this point. And we've seen you guys play well in seasons and then fall off in finals. So I don't know, but
Before you get into that, real quick, shout out to Ed Luxo coming in with a resub now for 3
shout out
months.
Eddie Luxo Guardo.
And
All right, but my
Before
top 2
his
teams
time,
coming out of the
thanks for
group
the
as I
follow.
pop it up one more time. I'm gonna have to go with coming out of this group. Starting number 1, the Dub Hub sitting in 3rd slot. Like, come on, Dub Hub's coming out of this group, and then also coming out of this group, my top 2. Oh, I don't know. I'm torn between. All right, I'm gonna get a lot of hate for this one, but I'm gonna go Trigger Happy. I'm gonna go Dub Hub, Trigger Happy coming out of the top 2 in this group. Dub Hub, Trigger Happy, my man Ultimate Italiano and the boys. They're gonna step up this time, which y'all have failed me. There was a season where Now You Watch This team didn't even play a week or something, and they still had more points than you guys. So don't
didn't
be
play
that
2 of the
Trigger
3
Happy
weeks.
team. Be the Trigger Happy team that's been playing as of lately. Okay, thank you. Don't make me look bad.
Exclusive?
This is very hard for me. I think that there's a possibility that depending on the circles and depending on how well the teams play, that there could be 5 teams that have a shot at being the top 2 in this group. I think it's that
Yeah.
even.
This
That
one's
evenly matched.
close.
I really do. So it's hard for me to even say 2 definitively. Like the other groups, like VKZG,
Yeah,
no doubt.
VKZG.
That's easy. It's not like I don't
Boom.
even need to think about it. It's just that's gone.
Write it in.
But this group, I mean, there's so many teams in here that have good things going on for them now, had good things going on for them in the past.
Right. Dubsies.
Trigger Happy Esports has been playing incredible lately. I mean, I don't know what Italian did. He must have gone out and got the Cronus or
The
something.
Mario movie came out and he's
Or
hyped
or
about
or
it.
he got the
It's
radar.
on
Yeah,
me.
I guess maybe they brought that back for him. But I mean, they have been playing great. They've been winning games. They've been having huge frag games. I think it was last night. I played in the tournament last night, and they got third place. We were 1 point behind them in fourth.
Barely.
So they've been doing good. Although Italian, you went on that package, and you shouldn't have done that because you got naded. That was a pretty stupid play. You got bailed out by your teammate there, who took the 1v2 and won that. But no, Trigger Happy's been great. Dub Hub historically over comp has been one of the top teams. At one point, top three, definitely top five for a majority of the time. But I don't really see them playing that much, and that's concerning for me. That it was Big Hub here for a while, and Big Hub didn't really play good
They
together, and I
played
think that's what
bad.
led to them breaking up because it didn't mesh, like I had mentioned. Um, but I still don't see them in a lot of tournaments. So are they going to be able to flip a light switch like that? They have the players and talent to do it, but if you're away from the game and you're not playing every single day, and I can speak to this from experience, it's hard just jumping right back in. It's not like you can just turn it back on right away and frag out. Wabaku, amazing player on I think he's on the Dub Hub.
Yep.
I think he's one of the best
Beast.
players in the game, and he's great. But I'm gonna need other people to step up than just Wabaku for that team to qualify. You got PT in
True.
there, who I like. I like PT a lot, especially if Backwoods is playing. If Backwoods is playing, I think PT is a very dangerous team.
He's the
Uh,
difference.
yeah, I think Backwoods has a very similar mentality and role that I do when I play. He keeps people calm, he keeps them in line, he keeps them focused. There's a lot more strategy involved rather than just running around and trying to frag out everywhere. So if Dub Hub, or excuse me, if Backwoods is in the lineup every single night and playing, I think PT could easily be top two, especially with the addition of Trill, who I think is a solid addition to that team,
He said he's
and
gonna
is
be top
probably one of
10.
their lead fraggers. So and then two more teams, Winner Circle, historically great team, very different roster than what they have now.
Right.
Uh, could they do it? Sure, they could go on a run and get hot, and especially with only what is it, 18 games for the first week, right? I mean, they could have a
15.
run of or 15. Okay, so they could have a run of good games, couple solid nights, and see themselves at the top. They have some talented players on that roster. Kofry, I think they're bringing back Mitch, and they
It's
have
a
other people in there that are
it's
good
an
too.
OG squad on that. You've got Kofry, Michu, Jair, Soup, Binny, Phased, and Triple OG.
I love
Yeah,
soup. Soup to my loop,
and
boy.
so I could see Winner Circle being there, but I could also see Winner Circle being out of the top five easily. I could see them being out of the top five because they're a super hit and miss team. They'll have games where they have double-digit points, and then they'll have 4, 5, 6 games in a row where they have 2, 3 points, and then they're 10th, 14th in a tournament or mini series or something. So it's real hit or miss with Winter Circle. And then finally, the last team that I would put in there that has an opportunity is Rico's Roughnecks. They've been playing terrible lately. You've mentioned this, Shox. It's been atrocious.
They've been playing so
Uh,
bad.
they got caught up in this whole Vig Hub
the,
thing at Shelter, and it's like I think Tragic like lost his mind because of it,
the
like
other
his
day,
brain melted or something.
the other day they played
Uh,
game one without Tragic. Did really good. He came in and they played crap the rest of the night,
yeah.
and I was like, my god.
Uh, I don't know if his like ego, because they did good for a while there, that his ego just like shot through the roof, and now he just thinks he's like this boss
Yeah,
IGL
they
that's
got to
gonna
go back to
gonna
their
roll
roots
over
and play for
people.
placement and stuff.
Yeah, if they can get that under control, I mean, I think that they're a solid team. I like Count Shankula. I think he's the
Beast.
the leading guy on that team. He gets the knock when they need it. I mean, he wins his ones. I think Wiz has gotten
Dude,
tremendously
Wiz has been
better.
awesome.
Yeah, and those two I think can carry Rico's Roughnecks as long as Tragic can, get himself in
IGL
line.
into
Because I think
victory.
I think I think Tragic is the biggest problem on that team, and he'll never admit it. because he just thinks he's the greatest thing, and I don't understand why. He's not. He's garbage. Um,
Ooh.
but
Woo!
if he
Bang
can
bang.
get himself in line, at least keep himself in control, and allow his players to do what they need to do, then Rico's Roughneck stands a chance.
Yeah, I think Tragic's a really, really good IGL though. Like I think he
No,
definitely,
he's
but
not.
his thing
He's
is
not.
he needs to, go back to what they were doing though. So, Grim, talk to me. What up?
Um,
Picks to win the group.
I will go with the Dub Hub, and I'm actually I'm actually high on the right now, Trigger Happy. So I put those as my
Oh, that's
top
so
two.
weird to say the.
The, I mean that's what it
That's
is.
their
The
clan tag now. You're right.
Yep, that's their new clan tag is the. Xbox won't allow them to take TH anymore, so they had to do THE. So yeah, I mean they're good, and I was while you all were talking about it, and that
Did you
I
say
was
Dub Hub and
reading.
Trigger Happy?
Yeah.
Oh wow! I thought for sure you're gonna be properly tucking it.
Italian, I did see say that Izzy took over being IGL for them.
Yeah, I seen that.
So Italian can focus on snaking and killing. So
Italian's a really
it's
good IGL. He
working
undersells
for him.
himself, so. But I guess if it's working, hey, go for it.
It's working.
I'm
Go
still
for
gonna
it,
put the blame on
100%.
you, saying you're doing a bad IGL job if they do bad. So don't. You're not getting away from it.
Yes. So I would put those as my top two. Shout out to PB Wookie coming with a follow and Linkadox with a resub.
Nice.
Shox, your dark horse.
Let's pop it open one more time. Delta group. My dark horse to come out of this group is now. It's going to be. My dark horse to come out of this group is going to be the Rico Roughnecks. The reason why I'm going Rico's Roughnecks is because going into a couple weeks ago, they were a top 5 team. You know, can they be that again? I think they can. Like I said, they got to go back to whatever their roots were. I think they're a solid roster. It's just stop playing like trash. Period. End of story. Like, there's no reason why Rico's Roughnecks could be playing top 5 every night for like 3-4 weeks, and then all of a sudden they're 16th place with 2 points. Like, what the hell happened? You know, like whatever it is, you guys need to fix it. Go buy a new controller. I don't know what the hell needs to happen, but go back to what was working, because whatever you're doing now isn't working. So I don't know if you guys got to a point where you thought you could shoot 4v4s against K7 and not have to use strategy and you could just slay the whole lobby. It's not the case. Go back to being the Rico's Roughnecks that was the best Miramar team in the game. Now they hate playing Miramar all of a sudden. It's like, what? You guys were the ones that were advocating for even splits because you guys were good at it. You know, so I don't know what happened. But go back to the old Ricos, because I think that team was a good team. So let's see that. And a team that I would be all proud of, like a great example of how you grow as a team and become a better team and earn your way into a top 5 spot. So I want to see that again. So
Exclusive?
I mean, I just picked 5. I didn't even pick 2. I didn't even give a
That's
dark
true.
horse. I
All of
just
them.
went with 5.
You gave five of the 8.
I legitimately, I mean, it's hard for me to biasly say with a definitive, you know, like without a doubt in my mind that these two teams, excuse me, are the top 2 in this specific grouping, because
Yep.
those 5 teams to me they all have great qualities that they do individually, and it just comes down to execution. Is what it does. So I don't really have a dark horse in this group. I just think that those 5 teams specifically that I mentioned all have a shot to be top 2. All of them. So if you want to call them all dark horses,
Boom.
go ahead. That's fine.
I don't really properly tucked. I guess I would throw out as my dark horse. They're right on that bubble. I feel, and yeah, if Backwoods actually gets playing time and is consistent, like we say, he's that glue. If he plays enough, then yes, I could see them easily, potentially sneaking into the top 2 there. But if
All
he
right.
doesn't, the others I don't feel confident enough in.
So quickly, a couple topics I do want to cover still is I want to cover who we think is going to be our strongest group and
Are we
who's
gonna cover the rest of the teams?
yeah. We're gonna cover them. I want that. I want to do an MVP and I want to do our picks to win in
Okay.
whatever order you want to do them, Grim. But I want those out there. But the other teams, Phase 9. Obviously, you got the Blurtonator, Osama and Bird. They picked up Kelvin, who I think is a star for them.
Yeah.
And it's
Osama's no longer on their team.
oh yeah, he switched to Bloodhound Gang.
Bloodhounds. Yeah.
But picking up Kelvin, I think, is a huge pickup for them. And they've been playing really, really good lately. And
Picked up him and
so I don't know,
Fingers.
Phase 9 could be a problem. I know Fingers, they could be definitely a threat. And it hurts me. I was almost going to pick him as a dark horse. But then I was like, you know what? Phase 9 is just so sporadic that I don't want to put that out there yet. Gemini Esports, a team that's got a lot of my boys. I went out to the wedding with them. They're cool guys. They're actually good shooters, but whatever's happening has not been working. So I don't know who's IGLing or what that case is, but they need a new IGL and they need to figure something out because they got talented players on that team. They just have not ever gotten it together. So they need to figure it out like now.
So they just added America Fade, Morales, and they have Bully on there too. So they made a couple adjustments going
Morales.
into league. So
All right,
we'll
who do we
see.
got on Not Even Sweaty though? What is that?
Not even sweaty.
NES.
That's another ranked team coming in. I don't really know much about them. We've got Evil.
Oh, that's
Evil's
my boy
played here a
Evil.
few times. Yeah, he's
Come
played
on
here
now.
a few times.
That's old TH3 Evil from Hatred.
But
He's
then
a
they've
dog.
got Smuck, Blade, Gassed Up, 40 CA1, and then
So
Cutie
it's
Queen.
It's going to be a ranked team led by my dog Evil that he's played
Yep.
in a bunch of events before, back in the BGL days. And with the ranked teams, we don't know. They could be great. For all we know, they could be the best team in the game. We just have to find
40
out
cal.
pretty much.
Thanks, Italian. 40 cal.
There you go.
So yeah, ranked. I don't know much about them. They haven't played yet. They haven't played any of our tournaments. They just, hey, do you have a spot for league? And in they come. So I did notice they signed up for tomorrow night. It is their priority night. Group D has priority tomorrow night. I saw they signed up, so tomorrow is actually gonna be the first time we'll see that team on our battlefield. So we'll see how they stack up to these other teams in this grouping. Alrighty. You said MVP, pick to win, and what was your third category?
I was going to say like strongest group, weakest group, but I don't even think we should do strongest group. Just maybe even, I don't know, maybe skip that. I was going to say weakest group if anything, but people get sensitive, so maybe not.
Yeah, no, we won't go there.
D.
MVP,
Weakest group, Bravo.
biggest
say
group,
Delta.
Bravo.
Delta.
Let's do MVP of. You want to break it down?
Regular
like, do you want
season. Regular season MVP.
just
Or you
week
want to do
one.
week by week?
Let's do yeah, because this week is basically its own little event.
That's true.
So
Because they're almost not gonna. Whoever qualifies, like top two teams, might not even be MVP because they're gonna play as many games as everybody else.
right. They only get 15 games and that's it. So exclusive. Who do you think is going to be your MVP this weekend?
Hard to say on for a short sample size. I'd prefer us like we had a whole season, but I mean, I think that Quay and Linkadox, when they were on separate teams from each other, each had an argument and shot to be put in there. I think having them on the same team detracts the ability for me to pick one or the other. Not that they don't have the talent, not that they don't have the ability.
They're gonna take from each other.
They could easily be the best player and MVP. I just think that when you have two of the best players on the same team, it almost hurts the other guy, right? Because maybe Quay frags out one game and Link doesn't. Maybe Link frags out one game and then Quay doesn't. Whereas in K7, yeah, K7 has a bunch of great players, but if you look at K7 when Quay's there, who's the main fragger? It's Quay,
Desto.
right?
Wait, what?
Well, Desto's the IGL, who also frags, but he's the IGL. but Quay's the fragger. And then like when you look at like VK and Linkadox is on VK, he's the main guy, right? He's the fragger. So I like both. I love both those players. I don't even like them. I love them. I think they're amazing players. I'm going to go with somebody that's on a new team, and I think him being on that team is going to show how truly talented he is. And I'm going to go with Tacticals.
Woo-wee.
Okay.
One of the GOATs.
Okay.
It's not a bad pick. We've
Shox?
seen him destroying Milta. So, not a bad pick at all. But you know what? I'm going to go with, God damn it, can we put some respect on AFI's name? Golly. God, they just been the most solid team for the longest time, and where nobody ever talks about it. Zality. Give me Zality. MVP Zal. Arguable or honorable mention to Baby Joey, but Zality, short sample size, give me Zal. He's a dog. We never talk about him in the GOAT conversation. I don't know why. He's one of, if not the best player of all time. To me, it's Rat, Tack, Zal. That's how it is to me right now. You know, Warhawk, because you guys don't know OGWC, Warhawk, Dog, Desto, like those guys, but like that's their top 5, and you can put them in any order. So, I mean, Zal. He's going to be the one. As he goes, they go, baby.
I'm going to go out on a limb here.
Carm. No,
I'm going to go with, if I'm picturing the right person, Luca
Ooh, from Torch.
from Torch.
Nice.
It's either him or Kaiomi. It's one. I get
It's
those two
Luca.
mixed.
Luca's
Okay,
a dog.
I'd say I get those two mixed up,
Yeah,
but
he's a young
I'm pretty
beast.
sure it was Luca.
It is Luca.
So, I'm gonna go with Luca on this one. I mean that Torch
Second
EU
to only
squad
Ghost.
is a whole nother beast on its own, and whenever they play, they dominate any team they play against in the NA. So if those 3 play with OH, then yeah, I'm gonna bet on Luca.
I think they did the miniseries and they were like in like 9th place or something, day 2, and they ended up finishing top 4 or something like that. Just when they brought in the EU boys. So I mean, that's solid.
That is that.
I don't know if we go pick to win regular season, but maybe who thinks they're going to be a top performing team for week 1, because
Yeah,
teams will
I was
qualify.
gonna
Yeah.
kind of switch to. Well, I was gonna switch to that first. Who is the top team coming out of week 1? Shox.
Shoot, you know me, man. I like to see it. So I like to go with proven commodities. So if it ain't broke, don't fix it. BGE Season 5 champions. Give me some K7, baby. Top team in the game. And still the reigning defending champions. Not to mention, they won 3 or 4 back-to-back games the other day. Like, come on now. K7. Come on now. Still the best. No Quay, no problem.
Exclusive.
I'm going BK. I think the grouping that they're in just allows them to bully a majority of those people and just rack up kill after kill after kill. So if we're just talking about 1 week,
Just
you know,
week 1. Who's gonna be
and
be number 1?
Yeah, in this group specifically, I'm going VK.
I gotta give it to him. Affinity. I'll be that. I'll be an Affinity bandwagon guy here for a moment. Most consistent team in the BGE right now, I feel. Not necessarily a ton of kills every game, but they're 95% of the time they are top 5, if not top 3 every game.
Yes.
In a league with 32 teams, that could be enough to put you right there. So I'm gonna go with Affinity.
If we would have did like a 3-week regular season like we normally do, I would have said AFI. That would have been the team I would have picked. But just because it's a 1-week, splash in a pan, I'm just going with K7 just because they're hot. But yeah, AFI. Maybe my pick to win it all. So I picked them number 1 in my power rankings the other day. So.
Well, that was going to be my next question. Who do you have at the end of season 6, who's your champion?
It's gonna change, you know what I mean? Because the regular season has to prove and everything like that. But like right
No,
now, just
no,
going
no.
into it,
Going into
AFI.
it on paper, AFI.
AFI right
Okay.
now is the hottest team in the game to me. I think they're solid. They have the roster that's been together the longest. They're the most consistent team in the game. They could frag out with anybody. They could be patient when they have to be. Like AFI, 1,000% season 4 champions. They proved that they could win events before. K7 has the roster and availability issues. VK is not put together yet. Like we don't know exactly what they're going to be yet. So to me, it's AFI.
Exclusive?
I'm going AFI as well. I think that they have the best. Well, we've talked about longevity, but I think that they're the most consistent team other than K7. But for me, K7, it comes down to whether Desto plays. If
Mm-hmm.
Desto plays, K7 is, probably arguably the best team. If he doesn't play, they're not. They're not even better than VK or Affinity or maybe even Torchio in my opinion. If
Or
Desto doesn't play,
ZG.
ZG they're better than ZG, but
They're better than the OGen
but
roster.
Affinity, I think Affinity is the most consistent, and across a whole season, not just a 1 week sample size, not just against like a weak grouping, like Group B is a weak group in my opinion. That's why I picked VK for the opening week, to be the highest scorer. But I think Affinity is the most consistent, and will win in my opinion.
And leagues suit them more than like a daily because a daily is so fast that it's just who's explosive for that day, and maybe other teams have more just big 20 kill games like a VK can do. AFI will have longevity. They're just going to be solid. 10 points in a dub, 10 points in a dub, 10 points in a dub. They don't need the 20 banger and a third or whatever. They can just chunk away.
See aimbot in here, and
Aimbot, highest IGL player in PUBG, high Q player in PUBG. I always say it. Like, I think he's super smart.
I would go with K7, but my I have a little worry with the logistics side of if it's Desto doesn't play, you've got aimbot, Warhawk, you've got Q. Who's Brazilian. Mm-hmm. Then you have Q Dex, who's Russian. So you've got 3 different languages now that you're trying to translate to each other, essentially. So that could pose a problem for them, potentially. So that is my only reserve with K7. But
think about how many times we see K7 playing like trolls. When they're seriously locked in, they're dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
Like they destroy, they devour.
Yeah.
Again, it all comes down to Desto to me. I think that's it starts and ends with Desto. That's literally the conversation. If he's in, they're there. If he's not in, they're gonna struggle.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I guess the chat's roasting me. They say they all speak good English, so I guess then that won't be a problem. So fine. K7 for the win.
There it is, swayed by the crowd. I thought he was gonna say Torch EU. I thought he was gonna say the Torch guys. Like he's gonna do this. Watch. He's the one random. He always does this. He said T4 or something last one of those seasons.
It was TI. It was TI.
Yeah, they played good. They played good. Give you that.
So anything else you guys want? Any other topics?
No, I think we're good. I just really excited to just get into it. This is obviously a long episode of the Hot Drop. I'm super excited for BG Season 6. Hopefully everybody's going to join us for that. We're going to do top 5 plays of the week. I'm going to try and clip as many as I can during our stream. Unfortunately, it's only going to be the lobbies that we're casting because it's just ease of access for me. So if I don't get your teams in our lobby sorry, I might not get your top 5 play because relying on the players to send us the clips does not work. So we're not going to be like, submit your clips because they don't send shit. So, all right.
We'll
So,
ask. If they submit, they submit. If they don't, they don't.
yeah, they
But
don't. So
we will ask you guys to submit clips. I mean, you want to showcase yourself, you got to send us stuff.
Can I ask Shox, please? Can we also get at least one epic fail of the week clip?
if we
Can we
see
do that?
one, do you remember when I did that? Like,
there's usually one.
I did a top 5 one before a couple times. Fails.
I'm down with that. I mean, we could definitely try some different stuff, especially here. Hot Drop Live. All right, here's your epic fail clip of the week.
The random guy that tries to throw a smoke on his teammate and mollies him. Yeah,
yep,
that guy.
something like that.
Yeah.
Everybody's saying they love the fail videos, so yeah, I mean that's definitely
Dub
good.
Hub falling off the sides of mountains and stuff. Yes, remember that.
Are we going to do listen in comms during league? Question.
We're
from
not
the
going to be
chat.
doing listening comms during league because, we had issues in the past where, somebody got timed out, kicked them. But what I want to do is I want the winning team get a representative of them in the lobby with us in between each round. So say a K7 guy wins, we pull Desto for hey man, we just want to congratulate you. How you guys feeling over there? What was that dub? All right, get the fuck out of here. You know what I mean? Just quick. We don't want to take too much time from them, but just a quick, if we can get a little interview. From them, cool.
Like a 30-second minute interview.
Long. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're gonna be
they're
gonna be tired of hearing AFI.
Create a separate Discord for comms.
We thought
mid-game interviews.
The thing is, then
I don't know how we would. I don't know how
the issue with that is pulling their audio then, because we're not gonna. If we say we're using Discord for our audio, then we'd have to switch Discords and pull our audio there. Or we use actually Xbox game sound for here, and then I join through the party and pull the audio from there, and not have to use my desktop. So there's things that go into it. So, but yeah.
We are PUBG's featured streamer this Saturday, so we're gonna have some extra eyes on us.
Who be casting Saturday?
We have groups A and C on Saturday.
So be on time.
Be on time. We are starting probably like promptly at 9 because that's when we said we would be going live. So we'll be right around there. We have something else I was going to say. We're going to try a couple new things with the stream leading into Friday. So Thursday we'll probably cast and try a couple things just to see how it looks and if it's something we actually want to do for leagues. So
Twitch partner gives us more options on being able to
Yes.
pull feeds and things like that we didn't have access to in the past. We're pulling from Discord and the quality isn't as good, so maybe we can give you guys something cool, multiple angles, things like that. But if the quality's shit, I'd rather not do it,
So we're going to give that a little bit of a test on Thursday to see how it looks because we've never done it before. So they do have the feature similar to what Mixer had, the old squad stream, where you can have 4 different screens on this up at the same time. So you can jump between each screen. So they have that for partners, the options there. So we're going to give it a shot Thursday and see how it actually looks.
So what would you do? You would go like into somebody that's actually streaming, like let's say Quavo.
No.
You'd pull.
We can have like say Grim streaming an overhead view, and I could be an FPP. We can have last 2 teams up. He could be watching one perspective. I could be watching the other. We could have a dedicated person just watching map things. So there's like a lot of things.
It basically pulls. So I stream live on my channel, Graveyard, and then I join the request for squad stream. So then on the screen, kind of like how we're broken up right now into 3 boxes, you would have on one side you'd have the BGE, and on the other side you'd have mine. So they're on the screen at the same time.
Now let me ask you this: Can the people that are watching, can they, let's say, no offense, Grim, but they don't want to see your ugly face, right? Just kidding. Let's say they want to just watch like maybe Shox is in the overhead view or in FPP, right? And they
Mhm.
want it on a full screen, so that way they can see maybe some of the intricate details that are going on. Are they able to click into that
They
stream
should be.
specifically so that way it's full screen?
I don't see. This is stuff we
They
don't know.
should be, but we're gonna
I
figure that
believe
out.
you can set it up to have one big or one little. Um, I know if you say you click on Shox's stream, you get Shox's audio. If you click on my stream, you get my audio. That type of stuff. But the audio would be the same because I mean we're essentially we're in the same party.
Pulling
We're
the
just
same
going to
feed.
have different angles of the fights. Is how we're looking at trying to do it right now.
Yeah, I don't mind that. The only thing I'd be concerned about is like if they're not able to maybe make a screen bigger, they might lose access to see some of those intricate details, high level plays, some of those minor movements that some of the players are doing, and that could, just take away from the visual experience of the people. So that's the only thing that I'd be worried about.
Well, and I mean it's understandable. Like, that's why we want to see what it looks like and how it actually operates tomorrow before we go into league and just throw it out there and well, what's this? I don't like this. Well, all right,
Yep.
well, try and get some bugs out of the way tomorrow.
Gotcha.
All right.
And if it looks good, the other option was to bring in K-Dub's feed because he's streaming lobby 2. So you could almost have both lobbies on the screen at the same time and bounce between this group and that group. If, say, like, we finished and they're still playing, you could jump over, watch them real quick, and then jump back, like bounce between what's going on in each lobby. So
All right. Well, we kind of got to wrap this up. Does anybody in the chat have one last question that we can answer for you guys before we let it go?
final questions.
Give it a couple seconds.
I've
and
got
if not, we're out.
I've got one important question that I need you guys to answer.
Go for it.
Blurtsy, over or under 50 Twire rating?
50?
50.
It's not even that high, man. But I'm gonna go under. Shit.
Let's go, Shox.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Did you say under?
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm sorry. I don't know.
Blurtsy, I believe in you. I'm going over. I'll even put you over 60.
All right, Blurtsy. I've been hard on you. I need you to get a 51, okay? A 51. That's all I ask. Please don't let me down and make me look stupid, man.
So there you go. Over. Now I feel like an asshole. I went under, but man. Kelvin's
Blurtsy,
going over. I'll tell you that much.
Blurtsy did ask the question a little further up, and he said he would like an answer. Does P9 qualify?
Ooh.
No. Sorry, Blurts.
Ooh.
I think so. I say
Think
yes.
P9 makes top 17?
Yes. I don't think they're going to do great week 1. Like, they're going to qualify the top 2, but I think once it gets down to the rest of, like, week 2, they'll be all right.
You know what? I think a lot of it is going to depend on what they get reshuffled into, because they're not going to be top 2. I'm being real. They're not going to be top 2, especially in the group that they're in. Like I said, there's 5 other teams there that I think are better than them. Some way better than them. And so it depends on who they get shuffled into for that next grouping. And if they could get maybe a group that's not as heavily loaded, there's a possibility that they can get in there.
There you go. What else we got, Grim?
Does exclusive have to kiss my blank bare skin live on stream once RR finishes above CK in finals? That's from Tragic.
Here's a better
he
question,
said.
Tragic. When have you ever finished better than CK in finals? That's the better question.
Sheesh. Bang, bang. I guess that's not really a question. I'm going to say no. That's the answer to that one.
No.
Go with no.
All right. Any other final questions here? Legit questions?
That one was more backlash. Like, how dare you say I'm trash?
bit of talking back and forth, but I don't see any questions.
All
So,
right, so we're good to go.
I
all right.
think
Well,
this was a great
you want to
turnout
send us
for
home?
our live.
You want to send us home?
Sure. Thank you guys. It was great. We've had a consistent around 70 all night here, so it's a little better than I thought we were gonna get here. So thank you guys again. Probably because there's no PUBG to play, so you came to watch anyway. But
you got nothing else to do.
right, you got nothing else to do. But thank you guys so much, and I actually kind of like being 100% live, interacting in real time. Well, that 10-second Twitch delay, but yes. Snipeless, you will know your groups for week 2 on Monday. We'll probably go live, do another hot drop, recap the weekend, and do a live Monday draw for the next for the final 2 weeks. So yeah, so thank you all, much appreciated. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for those subs that came in and the few follows we picked up even while doing this. Love it, and we'll see you guys tomorrow night on the battlefield. Peace.
No. Thank you guys for watching episode number 17 of the Hot Drop. Come on, Grim. Give me some of that.
There you go. He's got it.
Boom. Wait. Come on, work. My video won't work because I'm already in the scene. But you know what? Bam. No, not working. All right. Well, we'll catch you guys later. You guys already know what it is.
Bye.